I don't know why this hearing is always funny, but hey guys, welcome back again to another video. I don't look responsible that you're not expecting. So this one I'll be addressing people that is going for diploma, B.Sc, masters, and PhD. And I used to tell you guys, and according to my research, most of you that actually travel out through student routes, nobody say when I want study, but you guys are just using it as alternative or easiest way to japa. If you use it as alternative to japa to a cheap country, now I don't really have issue with it. But you spending almost all your life savings to japa to go and study masters, we know with your mind in countries like UK that is extremely expensive, and after that you depend on postgraduate work permits, and then that's when we are letting out down on you that job market is hard both in Nigeria, both abroad. I'm addressing all of you. Okay, so before you actually diploma courses is always like 2 or 3. I don't know what is wrong with this hearing, but I'm gonna wear you regardless. So diploma courses, right, they are like 2 or 3 years, right, depending on the course. Depending on the course, diploma courses are like 2 or 3 years, whereas B.Sc is 4 to 5 years. I'm using Nigerian standard though. 4 to 5 years, 6. I did not add ASU strike. I did not add it. Whereas masters is 1 year to 2 years, PhD is 1 to 2 years. So look at that number of years. Do you guys know that? let me just burst your bubble. Do you guys know that there are a whole lot of courses, like there are a whole lot of jobs in labor markets that when you hear this course, you'll be like, I need a master, I need B.Sc, I need masters and everything. But in reality, you don't need a degree for this course, and these courses are high paying. Do you guys agree with that? There are so many courses, guys. There are so many jobs, high paying jobs. Where high paying jobs, not just high paying, jobs in high demand. Jobs in high demand, right? Jobs in high demand that you don't need a diploma, you don't need a B.Sc, you don't need a master's, you don't need a this thing. So diploma, you can even still get diploma, because some of them they'll be like, okay, diploma, let's remove diploma from this thing. But B.Sc, imagine you're going for a course, right, for 4 years or for 5 years. You see that 4 or 5 years where you won't go dash university. I'm not discouraging you. This one I'm saying is according to what I've researched, is according to what I've seen. That 4 to 5 years that you want to go and dash school, if you use 2 years for meet to go to 1 year to go to vocational school, and use that 3 years to get experience, the 3 years gain is too much. But let's just say that 3 years to get experience, and then you now apply for work visa from inside Nigeria to any country. The salary you'll be earning, your starting salary, is more than a medical doctor that spent 10 years in B.Sc, in medicine, with residency, with houseman, with all the exams that they have to have it right in this entire life. Do you know that? You don't know that, and that's what I'm telling you. So before you go and study for masters, for B.Sc, for your PhD, and that's one problem with people. You are using this route to just japa. That's one thing that you do. Oh God, I used to tell you people that it's easy to imagine all the imaginable when you're outside UK. Some of your UK friends or people inside all these countries, once they've snapped inside snow, you people used to feel like they are making it. Me, I used to tell people that before anybody abroad advise me that I should come, make sure that you are staying alone in your house. You are staying in at least a 1-bedroom apartment abroad, and especially in the UK. If you are not staying in 1-bedroom apartment, you are sharing one. If you are not staying at least, okay, Joe, in a 1-bedroom apartment, as per only you don't have mouth to come and advise me to come to the UK because you are struggling. Yes. So when people enter snow, because especially Africans, they like group suffering. They like people to suffer together. Once they snap picture inside snow, like this guy dey flex. And the worst people is all these people that they'll do 25 years in Nigeria, 2 months in UK. And you people come and you people too in the comment section, Nigeria is this. When you go outside, your glory will shine. Kinikan. Did he tell you the job he's doing? Did he tell you how he has his B.Sc, masters and everything, yet he end up as a carer? Did he tell you how he has all the experience and everything, but then he still end up as a cleaner abroad? Did he tell you that part? They will not snap you where they are working. They'll come and be snapping inside snow for you. The easiest way to leave any country is via students study route. But the easiest, maybe slow, but cheapest way is through work route. Before you study diploma, B.Sc, what is it called, masters or this thing, firstly sit down, align your career goals. I've seen people that they study civil engineering as B.Sc, then because they want to jackpot by all means, they went to UK and go and be studying masters in marketing. Who advised you? I'll be making a separate video about some useless courses that even if they give you scholarship for you and your generation, no study them. Marketing is one of it. Stay subscribed. You study like civil engineering or you study biology in B.Sc or this thing, or some they'll study maybe marketing in B.Sc. They're not gonna do biology in masters. Who advised you? You people have money, oh. You people have money. Please let me say my account. You people should be sending me money. Hello, go. Let me say my account. According to my paper, right? According to my book, for now that I'm making this video, I've written 50 courses. 50 most useless. It's not good to say courses are useless, but please permit me to use that word. 50 most useless courses. So these courses, they are useless in Nigeria, they are useless in UK, they are useless in Australia. Globally, then say, hi, them. Where is my pen? Let me not forget. Globally useless courses. Very, very useless courses. And most of these courses, they have big names. When you hear their names, they'll be more. Like when you tell your friends you're studying this course, they'll be like, wow, you go make them. Wallahi, you no go make anything. Wallahi, you no fit make anything. As at now, I have 50 in my book, and I'm still writing because I'm writing according. You know, I do job search. I'm writing according to job search. I'm writing according to high demand jobs. I'm writing. You will be surprised. You open your mouth like this, because all your favorite courses that people used to go and do masters, everything is here. Is here. 50 most useless courses. If they dash you that I like you, tell them you don't want. They're the most useless courses ever. So if you know you have a brother, a sister, or uncle, or cousin, nephew that is about to enter school, advise them. Especially African parents that used to make people to go. In fact, medicine is part of it. Medicine is not a useless course, but then when I make the video, I will expatiate better. Medicine is inside this list too. And that's why I told my mom that she want to go and she want to our last one to go and study medicine. I told her, let this boy go and study nursing. Leave medicine. If me that used to cry that I want medicine, my eyes don't clear. Because the thing is, when you sit down, you just try to imagine some things. Okay, this is how it works. That's not how it works. That is not how it works. And there are some of these courses that is for rich people only. If your father is not close to being a Dangote person, there's some courses that you should never in your life master G. You heard me? If your father is not Dangote or $10, all these rich people, all this halaji, it's not for you and your generation. Don't study it. Yeah. So stay subscribed. That's just to mention a few. So before you study any course, right? And I almost made this mistake. I wanted to go for a course for B.Sc, but I realized that wait though, if I do vocational course, I course like this, I course like this, I course like this. That's part one. Part two is, do you know that you can actually get your master's without a degree? Do you know that? I'm sure that most of you do not know that. Don't worry. That's why stay subscribed. I've made a lot of research. I'm making a lot of videos on that. Yeah. But then, don't worry, stay subscribed. You can actually get your degree without a B.Sc and everything. So when you're gonna spend 5 years in the university, and then I gonna do vocational course 1 or 2 years, then I gonna do my master's 3 years. Immediately the master multiplied PhD, you are still in B.Sc. That one is another part aside. Yeah. Then more like the last part is, before you study any course, I know that people will make noise, and this one is part of the course we are talking about, though, that you didn't even know to go to school. So before you study any course, that's why I say, sit down, plan your life, plan your career. I'm planning to go back to school like next year. Next year, I'll be upper next year. But I don't plan my 8 years future from now. I don't get option A, option B, option C, just in case one did not work. I'll do like this. I'm planning to go to school next year. I'll be upper year. I don't plan my I'm already planning my future. Most of you don't just go to school because you want to go to school. Most of you just, in fact, okay, let me talk about my Nigerian viewers. If you're in Nigeria and jump you know that thing now, you write jump, for example, you apply for medicine and surgery as usual, and they give you things like biology. Usually I used to tell people, just study it and keep the certificate. But now, don't study it and keep the certificate. Don't. Just look for something that you like, that your career go align with. Go to a technical school in Nigeria or a vocational school, and then while at it, gain your experience. When you are done, apply for job abroad. If they know you quit, you may not waiting course. So why I'm actually saying this is because I've actually made my findings, and that's because people actually feel like, even me, I used to feel like B.Sc is the minimum when you want to immigrate outside the country, right? For example, like all this Canada Express Entry and everything will tell you minimum B.Sc, minimum B.Sc. I've checked for UK, I've checked for Australia, New Zealand, Switzerland, country multi-check, USA. I've checked almost all the top countries that I know that, okay, these ones, their top destination. I've checked them. Most of their high-paying jobs, you don't need a degree for it. Sometimes, even when you get it, when you have your degree and you carry it like this, degree without experience is nothing. So instead of spending all those years and money in degree, right, go use to volunteer in Nigeria and get experience. But something that is wrong with most people is because they feel like that their job is anyways. I'll be addressing each occupation accordingly. For example, I'm starting with people that studied electrical engineering, civil engineering, and electrical, civil, and mechanical engineering. That's when I'll be starting from. But let me just tell you, before you spend money to go study B.Sc in Nigeria or abroad, your masters, is it that 2 years masters? Just use it to volunteer in an experience that is aligned to your B.Sc. And that's why when I talked about work visa for job seeker visa for Australia, most organizations now, most countries, they prefer experience that is relevant to your degree. So if you studied maybe civil engineering and then you're gonna be working in the bank, they'll remove point for it. So if you know you studied banking and finance or anything, that's why I say before you study course number 1, first check the job prospect first of all. So after you've now studied it, the next one is to look for where you're going to volunteer. Do Osho free. You know where they go. That money where you won't go do masters, and then you pay 500k for proof of fund 28 days. Save your money inside your account, fix it. Just take like 50k from it and go and be using to do transport up and down and go and volunteer. It's me that is telling you. Most of you that you're going for masters, you don't need it. Even after your masters, you still struggle for job. And last when you don't see job, you end up back in Nigeria. So why? Why are you guys doing this to yourself? Anyways, like I told you, I'm talking about occupations that they carry big name, but they don't get future. That one aside. And I'm talking about vocational courses, high vocational courses in high demand. Another one. And I'm talking about courses that you don't need a degree for. There are so many high paying. Look at this IT. I've seen some people going to study computer science. Computer science is one of the most useless courses you should never study. Some people will be like, IT clinical, you don't need computer science degree. It is one of the most useless courses you should not go and study. There are some jobs that you don't need a degree for it. You having a degree, it's good to have a degree, but you having a degree, let alone going for masters, just use that 2 years to go and volunteer and go and be working, because you don't need it. Okay, like I was saying, I've checked countries for, for example, now if you want to move to UK as a nurse, right? That's for you to know. For example, in Nigeria, if you go to school of nursing, they call it diploma nursing, and you go to B.Sc university nursing, they call it was B.Sc nursing. Both of you in UK, you are what? The same rank. Did you hear that? Both of you are the same rank. So if you like to spend 5 years in university as a B.Sc nursing, and person wey go school of nursing 3 years, everybody knows that they even prefer people that went to school of nursing. 2 of you, you are the same rank. You enter UK same way. But then countries like Australia and New Zealand, their own nursing is minimum B.Sc. That's why I used to tell you that before you start anything in your life, before you study any course, align your career goals. Know the country you want to move to. So if somebody like me that I'm targeting Australia now, do your B.Sc and just follow Australia pathway. If you know that you can, and another thing is you can do your diploma in school of nursing, enter UK, go and practicing as nurse. As you're practicing as nurse, look for a school to enroll for top up to do B.Sc, or you don't even need top up again, because once you have experience, I'll be doing the video, you can either apply for top up to make it B.Sc while you are working in UK, or look for masters part-time. As you are gaining your experience, you are gaining your top up, you are gaining your experience, you are doing your masters. By the time you have your master's degree or you have your top up degree, you already have like 3 years experience. So when they ask you that they need a nurse with 3 years experience, you already have up to 6. You were studying, you were working. Can you now see that? Whereas somebody I feel like, B.Sc nurse, I want to move to Australia as a B.Sc nurse. She went to the university and go and spend 5 years. 5 years, so you went to school of nursing to go and spend 3 years. And in that 3 years, you were still volunteering in the hospital. You have experience. This one, she still did school. In that 3 years, I know that UK might need postgraduate work permit. Post 1 year experience. But then in these 3 years, you went to UK as a carer. You go to UK, you are working as a carer, and still the same 3 years, or maybe just say the 3 years is already having like 3 years and a half. As you're working as a carer, you apply to a school as a part-time. And the thing is, most care home or most schools for top up, I have a video on that. You guys will see sha. It's even on scholarship. You started doing your top up. This one, she still there school. She still there school. 2 years to go. Let's not even talk about ASU strike. We never talk about ASU strike. Or let's say she's not even in Nigeria. So 5 years. You already there UK. You are working as a carer or maybe assistant nurse or this thing. So you are doing your nursing top up, or you are doing your masters. I'll tell you how to do shortcuts. You don't even need that top up. Go for masters directly. You are doing part-time. So as you are doing the experience, you are doing this one. Even when you finish your master, that's when you might not want to do your OSCE or this thing. Depending, let's just say part-time might take a longer time. So let's say 2 years or 1.5, depending on how fast you are. You already have your master's degree. And then this is our friend that went to B.Sc. She just finished her B.Sc degree. That's when her family came to do graduation with her. Then she will now go again to kind of get 1 year experience, or probably she will now move to UK as a carer. And where you've gotten your masters. So as you have gotten your masters, you will now start looking for a job in Australia or New Zealand, and their minimum is what? B.Sc. You don't enter Australia, you already have, like, because you started volunteering when you enter school of nursing, you already had 5 years experience. So even when you enter New Zealand, uncle, I have 5 years experience. Post or pre-qualification is none of your grandfather's business. I have 5 years experience. You don't enter Australia, you don't earn money. Wherever person wey go B.Sc, she still dey find this. Can you now see? Sometimes in life, just pass shortcuts. And that's one thing I like about all these countries. They allow for career progression. That's why it's easy for people to, you do biology and then they'll go and do masters in civil engineering. Yes, if people can do it, so why will you spend a whole lot of time, a whole lot of money and everything? So that's why I'm addressing people that go for masters. The the highest thing that if you feel like you need that master so badly, the cheapest fee for masters is 13,000, 13 or 50,000 pounds, right? I don't know, depending on the school and depending on the course, right? And one thing that is affecting people is because most of you are scared of Nigeria. I understand, but instead of carrying that type of money to travel out, look for a safe city in Nigeria. Move to a safe city and go volunteer. If you feel like where you are staying, maybe stay in Lagos or Kaduna, they used to kidnap. That money where you want use travel, put it in your account. Move to a safer city in Nigeria and go and volunteer. And that's why people just study a different B.Sc, go for another one. At the end of the day, you will not get a job. So most jobs abroad, you don't need a B.Sc, you don't need a degree. But the thing is, even when you're working, you can start doing part-time. You can start doing distance learning of master. Before you know it, you are getting work experience, you're getting your part-time. Everything will gel together. So why would I not dedicate all those time? You go be working 10. And another thing is, some of you might actually feel like, okay, when you go for masters in this course, you'll be volunteering. My dear, outside the country, it's easy for you to volunteer in Nigeria, in your home country, than abroad. Even when you want to volunteer, they can tell you that there is no space. They can tell you that I don't know. So it's easier for you to volunteer in Nigeria in your own, because we have a lot of private companies. Tell you about where you go like this. This one is easier to volunteer in your home country than outside. So don't say Nigeria experience is not relevant. Nigeria experience is relevant because we have the same base of machinery, the same base of education, the same base of health, the same base of this. There are differences. The difference is technology. Experience in Nigeria is not useless. Experience in your home country is not useless. So before you go and spend all your family money to go and do masters, and after that is the funny thing is, when you know that your job is really a high job prospect, yet you still end up using postgraduate work permit. Why? So you spend so much money for masters for 2 years, accommodation, feeding and everything. You could not get a job. You now switch to postgraduate work permit. If at that, you still never get a job because last you still come and meet me in Nigeria. So I used to tell people, don't rush. Nigeria is not biting you. If God said that something will happen to you, it will happen whether you leave Nigeria or you don't leave Nigeria. That's one thing that is making people run away. You are running away and risking your future. I'm not even how go take this thing. Take your time. If where you are staying is not safe, move to a safer city. That money where you want to use Japan, move it to a cheaper city and be volunteering. And then another thing I will tell you is, even if you end up, though we have some courses that you need B.Sc for. You have some courses like that, I'm telling you. So if you've checked your career this time, you feel like you need B.Sc. As you've entered school and they say, congratulations, you've been admitted into University of Bung 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 Bung. From that minute, start volunteering in your relevant field. What did I say? From that minute, start volunteering in your relevant field. Even if it is banking and finance that they gave you, another bank will not allow you to volunteer, depending. But if your father is rich, you can start going to all this restaurant or this thing, start doing calculation with them or whatever. Just do relevant. That's why I said before you even start banking and finance, check the job prospect. So another thing to actually back up this is, for this, like I've mentioned for nursing, right? There are minimum requirements for UK. Minimum requirement for nursing is once you have diploma nursing, you can register as a UK nurse. Whereas in Australia, minimum they need is B.Sc, right? You see the difference. So I've checked most of those jobs that I talked about that you don't need a degree. And most of these courses that you don't need a degree there, that you don't need a degree, most of them actually have governing body that govern them, that you have to register with them. So I took it upon myself. I checked their registration. I checked for UK own. So UK own, there are some of these jobs that is in high demand that they don't have a regulatory body in UK. Once you just have experience, enter UK like that. And in Australia, they have governing body for some jobs. In New Zealand, they have governing body. In this, so I just try to check it because, excuse me, I don't used to be like I'm basing my assumptions based on this thing. That's why I say I'll be picking the course one after the other. How to become clinical, if which is this, but let me just tell you general. So I checked the governing body. Let's say which course is here. Which course can I use? Let's say lab technician, right? Let's say I checked let's say for example lab technician. You know, us, we used to say, well, lab technician. How will you be a lab technician? Which type of clinical is that one? It's part of those jobs that you don't even need a B.Sc for. But let's talk. Let's say, for example, lab technician. In UK, they don't really have a governing body for lab technician. In Australia, they have a governing body. In New Zealand, they have a governing body. In some of these countries, they have a governing body. So the thing is, I went to each governing body and their license. I checked their license for international people. My dear, ask me their requirements. Ask me their requirements. The first thing they started with experience. And then they said diploma / vocational / equivalent experience. Equivalent qualification. Did you understand that? They started with at least maybe 2 years experience, 2 years. Some can be 1 year, right? Some can be 1 year. Then the next one was diploma / vocational / this thing. But I did not see B.Sc there. I just use lab technician as example. We have some top courses. I don't want to say it here because I will not be able to make other videos, right? We have some other top jobs that you will see that this course I suppose do B.Sc now. You don't need them. So that's why I say before you study a course, the first thing, check the job prospect. When you check the job prospect, have a target country. When you know the country you want to go to their governing body. When you get to their governing body, check their licensing body. When you check their licensing body, check for international requirements. When you check for international requirements, they will tell you what they need from international people. So from there, that's when you'll be able to figure Mama fellow dash one master's in. Imagine somebody doing masters in lab technician. Is there even masters for it? There's always room for improvement, but the wider pick, imagine with B.Sc, masters and PhD, then a lab technician with over B.Sc is 5 years, right? Masters is 2 years, that's 7 years. PhD maybe 2 years, that's like 9 years. Instead of taking you because you have your B.Sc, masters and PhD, you better take a lab technician with 9 years. Then the thing is that lab technician should just go and do 1 year vocational course just to back up. I am educated or I can speak English. Finish. They will pick that person and they will even pay that person higher. Yes. So all the masters and everything that you are gaining, all the masters in this, I've seen some people that they've studied some courses, and I was like, why didn't you apply for work visa instead? They'll say they don't have experience. They'll be like, this country, there's no job and everything. You don't have to have a job before you have experience. You don't have to do Osho free. You don't have to. Some of you, the course you are studying, it did not make sense. After that, in school, you will do everything. You didn't even struggle to even get first class, first of all. Let's even say first class, does not matter. After everything, you carry your pali, you sit and be waiting for somebody to come and give you a job. It does not work like that. You have to do Osho free. And that's why all this about people, they even like volunteer. They have volunteer experience, they have paid experience. So when you start working with a company and you start volunteering for 6 months, for 7 months, with time they can start paying you 5k. So when you want to apply for a job and they're asking for paid experience, just print out this thing that they are even paying you that 5k girl. I can even be giving the employer that you shall want to be seeing the 5k in your account. And some of you you'll be waiting for federal government to come and employ you for a job. So you have to learn how to volunteer. Most high-paying jobs in demand, they don't require experience. Look at people that work with Google. Google is an example. All this Google, Pinterest, Adobe and everything, they don't have a degree. All they did was diploma, certificate courses, lot of certificate courses underrated. You guys underrate it very well. Certificate courses. So if you like, that's why I say computer is part of it. The most useless course you should never study. So if you feel like you are going through the IT way and you are going to have computer science degree, it is the most useless course ever. So there are some courses that they do with your experience. Should I have at least, the thing is, be able to communicate, go to maybe a diploma school, a HND, anything to what you call that HND. Just know that your course, you don't get prospects. Like I said, there are some courses that need B.Sc, maybe like dentistry, maybe like medicine, maybe like dentistry, medicine, maybe like microbiology. All those ones, they need B.Sc. There are some courses like that. But there are some other courses that to what in HND last. Go and volunteer, and from there register with the licensed body of your country apply for job. Life did not pass that one. That's what I came to tell you guys. So before you make your daughter, your son, your children to study a B.Sc course, or before you make your brother, your sister, your this thing for this. Another thing is, there are some people that is actually outside the country. Now they are bringing their family members. You know, say your leg, it never stable. You're bringing your brother, your cousin, and everything. You shall want to bring all your family member to leave Nigeria, because Nigeria is not safe. And that's why I used to tell people, this Nigeria is not safe. It's going to make so many people to enter pits. You see that? No, you are bringing them, except they are studying job prospect course. But you know, say you are, maybe you've not even finished your course, or you're on job postgraduate work permitted. You are bringing all your family members to come and join. Which course are they studying? It's the small one that I know. I've come here to tell you guys. Anyways, stay subscribed for my subsequent videos. I'll be listing courses that you should never study, courses with job prospects, and everyone of that. So guys, that will bring us to the end of today's video, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching.